welcome you to another live edition of the Sports Box, your go-to sports podcast featuring great content, conversation, and your occasional disagreement. Stick around to interact and ask questions. The Sports Box is brought to you by our sponsor, Showcase Sports, located on the White Horse Pike in Hamilton, New Jersey. Showcase Sports for the elite player. Ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Game Winning Drive. Is going to be jam-packed tonight. We got my co-host here. I got Ryan Beagle here on my left. I got Alex Krogan on the bottom, and I got my boy Brand Meeks at the bottom. Got a lot to get into. As first and foremost, we'd like to thank Sports Box for giving us the platform to use it, and all our sponsors. Give us a like, give us a share, give us your comments during the show, and got a lot to dive into, man. Got a big week this week for the Game Winning Drive for the three of us, as the Chargers are going against the Cleveland Browns on Sunday. So that's gonna be a big game. I'm gonna go through our week 5 picks. We're gonna talk about what's going on with Urban Meyer and his delusional self and his cheating self. We're also going to be talking about the recent releases of linebacker for the Cowboys and the corner, Stephon Gilmore, former Defensive Player of the Year, recently cut, and then he got traded. A lot happened today, boys. But first and foremost, how was you guys this weekend? Everybody good?
It was good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had Aaliyah's birthday party. It was good. Good times. Browns won.
Good. Ryan, do you want to ask me how my weekend was?
Drew, how was your weekend? Tell me about it.
Oh,
what
my
happened?
weekend was
Something
freaking
happened.
fantastic, baby. Down here in San Diego, you guys know more, you bunch of posers. The lightning and thunder was striking. It was just a sign to let everybody know that the Chargers are for real. Just want to throw that out there.
Absolutely.
Didn't we know that the week before when they beat Kansas City?
What's that?
Sure.
Didn't they prove it the week before when they beat Kansas City? I think it was much more impressive to beat Kansas City than the Raiders.
We won 2 games in a row, though. So we got to acknowledge that. We have to acknowledge that.
Yeah, it's good.
As rivalry.
We won 3 in a row.
Don't worry, you'll get your time to speak, Alex. And so with that being said, we got our first down hot takes. Jacksonville Jaguars owner says Urban Meyer's actions are inexcusable. With Urban's self-imposed demise, will he even finish the season as Jacksonville head coach? I feel like we talked about this guy every week. I'm sick and tired of talking about him. Hopefully this is the last time until he gets fired, because I am done talking about Urban Meyer. If people don't know, just a real quick before I give it to Alex, because Alex loves this guy a lot. He was caught over the weekend, didn't fly home with the team, stayed there in Houston. Where were they? Cincinnati?
Ohio.
In Cincinnati, in Ohio, and went to a bar, said that a family and friends wanted to take pictures and then wanted to dance. But my man was fingering the girl like no other in the other angle that you saw. So with that being said, while his wife was watching 2 grandkids, I just want to throw that out there. With that being said, we saw the list of issues that he's been going through since he's been hired. We had the situation with the guy that had the racist comments, signing Tim Tebow, then losing confidence in the team, drafting ETN instead of getting a better pick. It's been issue after issue after issue. Alex, talk to us.
What did I say? Week 6? Is he going to make it to week 6? Right?
You did say week 6. You did.
The guy's a clown, and I don't understand with his history in college, which is nowhere near as stressful and all-encompassing as the NFL is, why they even gave him a shot. It literally is the Jags owner wanted to make a splash hire. That was the biggest splash he could make. That wasn't a credible coach, right? And so, because who really wanted that job? Let's be honest. And so, yeah, it's a absolute fire sale down there. He's gone week 6 if he's lucky. I'll be surprised if he doesn't start having migraines on the sideline and disappearing or whatever. But good luck, man. Have fun. I told Jacksonville what was going to happen, and they didn't believe me. And now you're stuck with this clown.
I sent the video to Con. I don't know if you watched it or not, but hey, there it is. There. Hey, Brant, you're a college guy. Is this? I know there's a theory out there. I know Urban Meyer's reiterated himself several times. I'm with them until they fire me. I'm here with Jacksonville. Do you feel this is a little bit self-imposed on purpose because there's a couple of jobs out there that look pretty tasty? Cough USC, cough FSU.
I don't think so. I don't think Urban's that smart. If you're looking at, just trying to manipulate something, I mean, he can just quit and waive pay and be done. That's easy. I mean, just do what Nick Saban did, right? Like go in for a couple games and be like, that's not for me. I'm out. I don't think he's that smart to where he'd be like, let's see if I can go get in trouble with a girl grinding on me in a bar. And then, this gets back to my wife and, it just makes him look bad as a whole. I do think now if, Shad Khan wanted to try to fire him for cause, it's something that they could probably pull off relatively easy. Just because, there's a certain expectation of being a coach is that you handle yourself a certain way, and he's not doing that right now. It's kind of like Alex said, he's just a clown. He's making all the moves to make himself look bad. And I don't think it's on purpose. I just think he's just trying to enjoy the ride. And anybody that thinks FSU is a good job is out of their goddamn mind because, I mean, that job hasn't been worth shit since Bobby Bowden left. But yeah,
You mean Jimbo?
I would say Jimbo had some success there.
Jimbo had some success.
Jimbo had like a little success. I'm talking about
Jameis Winston title.
Yeah.
And Jameis was stealing crab legs.
I don't even know college, and I knew that.
I mean, Jimbo's done nothing anywhere else outside of that 1 year of success. FSU expected a certain amount, and they just haven't got it since Bowden left. At least when Bowden was there, it was year after year after year after year of success.
Well, yeah, it was FSU and the U. That was it in college football.
Exactly.
They were the Alabama and LSU back then.
But I mean, even now they recruit well enough to make it happen. They just don't have a coach that can put it all together. It's the same thing with Miami. Miami can still recruit all the 5 stars they want to. They don't have a coach that can put it together. And until they get one, and they tried with Rick and now with Manny Diaz, it's just been nothing. I would say USC is probably a better job. It's California. Who doesn't want to go there, right? I don't. I got the hell out of there as quick as I possibly could. Plus, there's no state income tax in Florida, so he's making $10 million a year in Jacksonville. He doesn't give a shit. He's making a ton of money to do nothing, to lose games. I don't think he's looking for a way out. I think he's going to soak up the next 4 or 5 years of $10 million a year, and be done and move on.
Ryan, final thoughts on this before we have to move on from this Patrick question?
Yeah, you know what? This is actually, I'm kind of the opposite. I'm kind of I guess you could say an Urban Meyer sympathizer with this kind of thing. Here's the thing. Urban Meyer, he's a total clown when it comes to being a human being. But I hate when sports talk radio turns TMZ real quick and we're talking about shit that happens off the field. Like, this video is so stupid to me. The person who's filming it is, I can't relate to a human being that sees something like that, films it and says, this is going to go viral. I'm going to post it. I'm going to do this. I think that person's a loser. I can't handle that kind of stuff. The reason why Urban Meyer's not having success right now is because it's a tactical game and he's a motivator. He is not a good football coach. When he was at OSU, he had Dan Mullen, he had Fickle. Those are good coaches. John Harbaugh is the same thing. He's a motivator, but he has Greg Roman and Wink Martindale. Like, he didn't surround himself with good coaching, and it's part of the reason why they're struggling. Now, with that being said, they had a good game on Thursday. They look pretty good. I'm actually excited to see what the Jags keep moving forward because they put up a good game against a good team. I'm over talking about the drama with Urban Meyer. Urban Meyer as a coach, it's getting better week by week. I'll give him that.
I was going to say that too because it looks like this team is fighting better in the last couple of weeks, offensively and defensively. He just can't put a complete game together, but, that it is what it is with that. We're moving on.
Thank you.
Following week 4, both Jalen Smith and Stephon Gilmore hit the market with these big-time cuts. Well, one was the cut today. The other one was supposed to be a cut, but I think it was a bunch of smoke to see what they could get. It ended up where Stephon Gilmore went to the Carolina Panthers for a 6th-round pick. And the Green Bay Packers did not mess around. They had a need, and they wanted to go get Jalen Smith, which I thought was a great fit for what they need right now. Even though the Charger fan in me really would love to have Jalen Smith over in Chargers because of Murray being out, but that's neither here nor there. So with that being said, Brant, what is the reason for these moves? Why did these moves happen today?
Gilmore, I think. I mean, he's on the PUP anyways, the physically unable to perform list, so he's not going to be able to come off until week 7, I think. So that one, I think they're just trying to shed some salary. Jalen Smith, I absolutely don't understand that whatsoever. It didn't make sense because you're still eating all that salary. And he's been playing well. And it's not like Micah Parsons has lit the world on fire as a linebacker. He's been better as a defensive end rush specialist so far than he has been playing, coverage and off the line. And so Jalen Smith is still 26 years old. I see him as someone that I think most teams would have liked to have. He hasn't played bad. Granted, he takes some iffy angles at times, but when you look at, starting caliber linebackers, I mean, ones like him that can rush the passer, that can cover, that can, try to fill holes in the run. I was a little shocked, and definitely shocked that Carolina traded to get Gilmore, especially after they traded last week to get CJ Henderson, the former first rounder over there. So I wonder what that sort of says about him. But good moves on the Packers and the Panthers for, making some shrewd moves.
Alex, I saw your disgust with Brian this season. What for?
In what defense besides the Packers, most likely, or somewhere where there's a major injury, is Jalen Smith a starting linebacker in the NFL? Have you watched this film? After his Pro Bowl year, the guy has taken a significant dip. He cannot cover. I don't know what film you're looking at talking about him covering, because who's he covering? The towel boy? The referee on the sideline? He ain't covering no professional football player. I don't know what you're thinking. This is not the Jalen Smith before the horrific injury that they didn't think he was going to come back from. This is a different guy. I'm sorry, man. I get that he puts a lot of tackles up. That's great. But he's out of position. Read some articles and look at the film before you talk about this guy being a starting linebacker. You guys dodged a bullet by not getting him in L.A. I'm telling you right now, this is not a starting linebacker. He feels the need for Green Bay because they don't have anybody. They got the towel boy and a bunch of guys from the YMCA playing linebacker. Stephon Gilmore, I think Carolina, what it says to me is Carolina realized they have a huge need in the secondary, and it not just, the Henderson, trade, but Stephon Gilmore. I mean, to get a talent like that for a 6th-round pick, I think they traded. I mean, even if it's just a rental for a year, that's worth it. I think it was a great move for them. New England, they were ready to move on from Stephon Gilmore last year, and they couldn't get enough for him last year. And so I think, the writing was on the wall for him. Him being on the PUP list just made it easier for them to get him out of there. And I believe they would have cut him if they hadn't got something for him.
And see, to me, I think that they should have made that move last year because he had more value last year than he does now with a 6th-round pick. And I think it's just one of those Bill Belichick moves. Hey, he's in the twilight of his career. I think he's done. Let's move on from him. This is what I do. I get rid of players that people think that I should keep, and I should keep them. So I get that move. The Jalen Smith, I get where Brant's coming from, but I also get where you're coming from. He struggled last year in Mike Nolan's defense. Could have covered worth a lick. But the man can tackle. I will give him that. He has good reads. He can read. He knows where the running is coming. He knows what gas to hit. But yeah, I mean it's hard. It's hard. I don't understand from the Cowboys standpoint to eat that 9.5. I don't get that part.
No, they're eating 7.2 this year, and they're saving themselves 4.5 next year. Yeah, but they're saving 4.5 next year. That's really what it was. Is they didn't want to pay 9.2 to a backup because
whose TV's on?
Not mine. So
I'm hearing the background noise.
Since Micah has done so well, which
might be me.
I thought that was a funny joke. You didn't think Micah's done well. Micah's probably defensive rookie of the year so far for the first 4 games. So I don't know why you say he's not.
Man, I'm like,
well.
Have you watched any? He's rushing the passer. He hasn't been a traditional linebacker like Jalen Smith has, though.
Right.
He hasn't excelled in that role.
End as soon as the 2 linebackers are hurt that are coming back within the next 2 weeks. That's the point. It's like they don't need him to be a traditional linebacker, right?
But it doesn't make sense if you're going to cut Jalen Smith because you're eating all his cap anyways. You might as well just kept him on his team and let him do something. I mean, yeah, he's not great against the run, but his pass coverage grade is over an 80 on Pro Football Focus. So, I mean, he can cover. I mean, he can't diagnose for shit. His run grade is like 37. Like it's fucking bad, but you need linebackers that can cover. I don't understand why you'd cut a guy that can cover tight ends and wide receivers. It just didn't make sense to me.
Yeah, my stance is that, like, I understand why cutting him. His numbers last year did not fall off nearly as much as I thought they did compared to his Pro Bowl year. Statistically, they're pretty close together, but that's just numbers on paper. The film is really what we need to look at. And you go back and look at the Jalen film, and he's lost a step. It looked bad. When it comes to Pro Football Focus, they do a lot of things right, but a lot of their grades sometimes, man, I don't know. I don't think he should be an 80. In my opinion, looking at some of the stuff that he's done. But what I don't understand is what you guys have already said is they're eating this money. The only thing that, like what Alex said, they're avoiding next year, if he would have gotten hurt this year and nobody's going to take him, then they would be on the hook for that kind of money. So they basically cut him for the idea that he might get hurt and they'll be on the hook for the money. But he should be better than their second or third string linebackers. I would still keep him on the team. Like, injuries are going to happen. It was a strange move. Gilmore, I totally get. I'm just surprised they didn't already do it. I genuinely feel like Bill got bored or something, was like, all right, we need to get him moving, because they're still paying him. They getting rid of him. They got rid of the 5 point whatever they owe him from the cap, which is good, but still just a weird move. Both moves to me are not very – they don't make a whole lot of sense, but I can kind of understand. It's interesting.
All right, let's move on. Biggest overreactions after the first 4 weeks into the 2022-2021 NFL season. Alex, what's your biggest overreaction, bud? Ryan, what's your biggest overreaction?
The Chiefs being in last place for the AFC West. The reality is they are not a last place team. They're not a last place caliber team. It's just where they found themselves so far. They're still a team that could very much go to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl. They have the talent. I think their defense is struggling pretty bad. The offense isn't as cohesive as it's been in prior years. But for me, the reality that they are in last place and they should be in last place, that's a complete overreaction. That they're genuinely a first place wild card caliber kind of team.
I got a couple seconds of silence.
No, you don't. My biggest overreaction after the first 4 weeks of the 2021 NFL season is the putrid Washington football team defense. I am so pissed of how bad they are through these 4 weeks.
Someone drafted.
Yes, defense. I did. In my 15th and 16th rounds. No one was touching them or Cleveland. Those are 2 teams I was going for defenses. I mean, I don't get it, man. I just don't get it. You got that front seven, and it's just not. Nothing's happened. The secondary is definitely trash.
It's the front.
Quiet. My take.
There's no front seven.
That's my take. Quiet. And so, with that being said, the secondary is horrific. The Washington football team defense overall is horrific. They were better when Ron Rivera had cancer. Go ahead, Brent.
Oh, God. I'm going to start off by Ryan, I hate you, because we had this conversation beforehand, and you literally took my exact thing that I said and just used it.
Don't know. Check a tape. Don't know what you're talking about.
Jesus, that's fucking terrible. I think Looking at the numbers, I think the biggest overreaction right now is that Kyler Murray is going to win the MVP. I think after the 4 weeks, it's a lot of people are trending that way. I mean, pretty much everywhere has him as the best odds-on favor. I just don't see him being able to keep this up and being able to stay healthy for all 17 games. He wasn't able to stay healthy last year, ended up taking some dings, getting hurt. And so I think he'll end up getting dinged up a little bit later on. His play will fall off as teams start to grasp a little bit more. And I think another thing we say is that AJ Brown was done, or AJ Green was done. Like that dude has come on strong, played very well, and been a really good second fiddle to Hopkins out there.
Go ahead, Alex.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going the same team, but the other side of the ball. All these clowns talking about Chandler Jones is back. Chandler Jones, he had 5 sacks in one game, ain't even sniffed the quarterback's ass in the next 3. So the guy, it was just a prisoner of the moment. And honestly, I think the Cardinals are not going to finish, not even top 2 in their division. I really don't. I think they're going to fall off a cliff. I think this is fool's gold. I think it's the Rams division to lose.
All right. Getting down to
She did not agree.
Buy or sell, Kyle Murray will win the MVP for the 2021 season. We got the year right. Brent, we buying or selling?
I'm selling. I don't think it's going to be Kyler. Like I said, I think he's going to get dinged up later on, and it's going to come back to hurt him.
For me, I'm definitely selling. You already know my MVP is going to be Tom Brady. Ryan.
You know what? Hey, man, I'm buying. Dude, this guy is playing lights out right now. He's not taking hits like he did last year. He's running. He's very LaDainian Tomlinson. Right before a hit, he either takes a slide or gets out of bounds. He's just not taking the hits like he had.
Did you just compare him to LaDainian Tomlinson?
Hold on, we're not comparing.
Okay, all right. I just want to make sure.
Not comparing. That's very
I heard
different.
a kid scream in the background, so I didn't hear you all the way.
All I'm saying is he's not taking the hits that he did last year.
Okay.
And 75% completion. He's like number 2 in yards. He's throwing touchdowns, very minimal interceptions. Dude, he's playing lights out. I can't sit here and be like, oh, if it was week 4 and Lamar Jackson's MVP season and Cam Newton's MVP season, I'd say you're crazy. But they kept it up and they kept doing it and they got the MVPs. It's hard for me to deny him, especially after this past week, put it on the Rams the way they did. They throttled the Rams, and that's a good defense, and he looked amazing. So
it's the best team in the NFL.
In my opinion, I still stand by it. And, so after watching this game, I'm a believer. Will he win the MVP? It's week 4. It's hard to say anything, but he's on pace. I'm buying. I'm in.
Alex?
I'm selling. I think
we know.
I think the guy sitting behind center in L.A. and not the Rams, the Chargers, wins it. Especially if you guys can finish this 3-game stretch and be undefeated in that. I think you guys are going to – if you can beat the Browns this week, you guys, I think, are Super Bowl favorites. Rightfully so. The Chargers. I'm talking about –
No. Are you talking about 3-game stretch starting this week or starting from last week?
You would complete this week. If you win this game, right, if you beat Kansas City, right, then you win last week against the Raiders, who were undefeated up to that point, and everybody thought they were crowning them as legit, not empty, 3-0. And then you come into the Browns on a 3-game win streak, and you beat us.
I think Baltimore next week.
Huh?
We got Baltimore next week too.
I know.
We got a tough stretch.
For sure, but if you finish this, even if you lose to the Browns, but you beat Baltimore, if you can finish this stretch 3-1, I mean,
I agree.
Those are 3 quality playoff teams that you've beaten most likely, right? Raiders are the one that's on the fence, right? We don't know how they're going to finish because it's a tough division. But, yeah, I mean, Chargers are legit, and I think Herbert looks disgusting to me, in my opinion. He's better than I thought, and I remember how high I was on him. So, yeah, I mean, you guys look good.
Quick question. This goes straight to Alex. If you're drafting back 2 years ago, who are you taking, Justin Herbert, or are you taking Joe Burrow based on what you know now?
But I was taking Herbert from the beginning, so I would have taken Herbert no matter what. My thing was always has been with Burrow. If you can't be better than 3rd string at Ohio State, and you see how
Burrow's overrated,
and you see how our quarterbacks do in the NFL, then I don't trust you, right? But it's
Sure.
because he wasn't in the right offense. He's a true prototypical pro-style quarterback. We don't run that at Ohio State. And so
True.
that's part of what frustrates me about our offense. But a whole nother topic. But yeah, I would have taken Herbert. I told Drew, you guys got the best quarterback in that draft. I was on him from the jump because I watched a lot of film on him because Oregon guys have been terrible, just like Buckeyes. And you know what I mean? And Mariota killed a lot of people's hopes, right? As he was the next great guy, right? So, but yeah, Herbert's the truth. He's a prototypical quarterback.
Yeah, during that year, me and Alex were going back and forth. We both agreed that Burrow and Herbert were going to the top two. I was on the fence with Herbert with his decision making. That's in his IQ. But my God, I was wrong. The Las Vegas Raiders' biggest issue is their O-line. Buy or sell, Alex?
I'm buying all day. You got to give. I think Carr could be in the top 3 MVP voting if he had more time to throw the ball. I mean, Waller looks unguardable, right? Third and Renfro is a real thing. Like, he's got weapons, and Ruggs has come on since, week 1. I mean, they have a legit offense. They just, when you're expecting Leatherwood, who's a flex guy, to basically play every position on the offensive line as a rook, I mean, it's not a good look. They should have invested in offensive line heavily this offseason. I mean, it's another Gruden type thing, I guess. I don't know.
Alex? I mean, Ryan?
Yeah, I'm buying that 100%. But it's a little bit of both. Like you said, Leatherwood as a rookie, putting him with Bosa, like Bosa made him look stupid in a lot of senses. Even he was holding Bosa on a lot of plays where Bosa got pissed and got the penalty. But I will say this, and Bosa actually brought up it's 100% true. The minute you get to Derek Carr, he's so shook, man. The last 2 sacks we had, players weren't even on him, and he was already in his Ben Roethlisberger, I'm going to fall over kind of thing. It was not a good look. So it's a little bit of both. He can't take the heat. He can't get out. When he's in the pocket, when he steps up, that's all he can do after that. He is not doing anything else after that. But their O-line's the biggest trouble there. That's a good team over there, in my opinion. I genuinely think the Raiders offense can do some things. Defense is better than what it's been in past years, and I don't know. But that is their Achilles heel, in my opinion.
Ryan, just to add on to what you were saying about Joey Bosa, we went to the press and talked about Derek Carr under pressure. He shells up and that type of thing. Can we talk about how much of a pussy Derek Carr is for his retraction? Like, it bothered him. You don't think the Chargers players were not going to say anything after what you said about it's a home game in SoFi Stadium? Like, you really didn't think you're going to get anything back? Like, I mean, 100%. He's soft, bro. Take your L. Take your L. Go read your Bible that you supposedly read. Go pray and focus up when we come back up to Vegas and beat us. That's all. You shouldn't talk. You shouldn't be talking. Brant, go ahead. I
fully agree on that. Fully agree on that.
And I buy the Raiders' issues their O-line, and it's Mayock. Go ahead, Brant.
I was gonna sell. I was like, purely just because it's Mike Mayock as a GM, freaking drafting Cleveland Farrell, who's been he's been terrible. It just makes me really curious how these talking heads from ESPN would do. Mel Kiper running a team or Todd McShay.
Oh, he'd be terrible.
Because it has, right? Like, taking Cleveland Farrell just sort of set the table for how bad this was going to be. The fact that they let their entire offensive line walk during the offseason, and they've just been a disaster. Penalties have been bad. And I just don't think John Gruden's a current coach for the NFL. I think he's sort of that Jeff Fisher dying breed of coaches that should have stopped back with in the 90s with early 2000s with Rich Gannon.
What year is this for Gruden? 4? Is this his 4th year?
4 of only 4.
4.
They still have 6 years after this, bro.
So listen, how many years do you think it should take a coach to get everything all back to what it needs to be?
2 on the 3rd year should be getting it going.
Now, I understand the whole Antonio Brown debacle.
If you make good moves,
that's not his fault. The Antonio Brown debacle is not his fault. But the whole issue of the Mike Mayock hire, I don't get it. I didn't understand it. It didn't work. It's not working. Get rid of him.
What do you mean? That's his best friend. That's why he hired him. He wanted control. What does Mike Mayock know about running a franchise? Nothing. So he's going to
Nothing.
rely heavily on Gruden
When
for
you-
every decision.
When you have so many guys that you could easily tapped on. Look at Lynch.
Oh,
Look what he's doing in San Francisco.
yeah.
There could have been Louis Riddick. I to this day I don't understand why he does not have a front office job. I don't get it.
Guys.
That guy is a brainiac when it comes to drafting and all that stuff and free agent calls. But that's
But
just
on
me.
the Carr, just one thing to add on the Carr thing. Remember how we were killing Darnold about seeing ghosts, and then he actually went to a good team, and now he has an offensive line. So Carr's dealt with this for 4 years without a really good offensive line. They've been decent up until this year. Okay, right? Not great, but okay, middle of the road at best.
Oh,
and now they're
yeah.
horrendous, right? So it's natural, right? Think about put Brady behind that offensive line. I bet you he's seeing ghosts. I bet you he's tucking up and rolling. Like he just doesn't have time. He can't complete a 3-step drop. And when you got a guy Ruggs who is only an out route guy, pretty much, you gotta do 5-step drops. So he's getting killed every week.
I agree with you. Lawrence is disagreeing with David. Nolan has a 3-4 defense with very little time for players to know their assignments, and we're always out of position and taking bad angles. Look how Quinn has the Dallas defense flying to the big ball difference in scheme. I 1,000% agree with you, Lawrence. Yeah. We talked about it in one of our pre-shows how I was a huge advocate of Dan Quinn going to Dallas. I think it was going to pay dividends, and obviously it has been so far through 4 weeks. Their defense is about 50 times better than it was last year, but still Nolan didn't fix those issues. He made those issues worse. I mean, if your players can't adjust to your scheme, find another scheme, right? Am I dumb?
Yeah.
Or no? You want to keep your job, be adjustable. So,
But this is only year 3 of Gruden. There's still 7 left.
Yeah, it's only year 3?
Yeah, I thought it was
okay, then he gets one more year. I'll give him one more year.
So 2019, 2020.
It's only been. It feels like it's been 7 already. That's insane.
I think Quinn is the reason that McCarthy still has a job. To be honest with you.
Oh, 1,000%. All right, let's get into it, guys. The last one, and then we get to go. Oh no, 2 more. We got 2 more. Top 4 coaches in the hot seat. Buy or sell on those coaches that you think that are in the hot seat. Just give us your 4. Ryan, go ahead.
So I've been looking at this. I really only think that there's 2. Everybody that I've had in the hot seat preseason, the Kingsbury's, all this everybody's kind of proven their worth. McCarthy's winning games, so they're not in the hot seat anymore. Matt Nagy, 100%, and I'm selling on him. He's trash. He should definitely be out of the NFL. And the other one for me is Mike Zimmer. I'm selling on him. It's time for him to go. I think that the Minnesota had their chance, and they're on the decline. They just lost a big game to Cleveland in a game that they had a lot of opportunities to win that game. Cleveland let them in that game when they should have won it, and they didn't. And I think that's just a speak to the culture that's going along out there. And I think it's time for him to go. But those are my 2. I only have 2.
Who was the first one you said?
Nagy.
Okay.
But you're buying, right? You're buying on both of them, right? Because you're
buying for them to leave. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, okay. No, we're good.
Did you see Baker's Mayfield's accuracy chart of his throws? It was horrific.
That's why when you say the Browns let them in, Baker let them in.
Sure,
Baker,
but yes.
Baker.
Baker's in the hot seat.
You took my one.
He's not, unfortunately, but
Matt Nagy is definitely he's gone. He's out of here. He's just going to finish the season and see you later. The next one for me is Urban Meyer. Urban Meyer is done after this year. It's done. He's lost the locker room no matter what he does, no matter if he has their exorcism. It doesn't matter. He's lost the locker room. It's done. The third one is, and Alex can attest to this, I've been on his ass for the last year and a half since I've done game-winning drive. It's time for old boy to get out of Minnesota. It's time for a new resume. It's time for a new head coach. I think his time there is done. It's almost to the sense of the former Vikings head coach. Remember Brad Childress?
Yeah.
Wasn't that his name? The guy that flew out to get Brett Favre because his job was on the line. And oh my God, it's just at that point where it's time to be done. That's 3. I was gonna say Gruden, but now that Gruden's in his 3rd year, I can't do it. So the 4th one, I'm looking around and I'm seeing I'm still going to say, and you guys can blast me all you want. I don't care. Harbaugh don't get it done this year, dude, and he doesn't make it to the conference finals. He's got to get out. He's got to get out. He's a cat that has 9 lives, and he hasn't been able to get to the conference round since they won the Super Bowl in 2012. And maybe a little bit of Mike Tomlin, maybe not. But for me, man, those are the top 4 coaches that are on the hot seat for me. Brent?
So is Urban Meyer, like, we're just assuming that he's gone at the end of this year? We're not including him on this list? Because,
No,
otherwise,
he's number one. He's number one on everybody's list. He should be.
Yeah, him, Matt Nagy. And then I'm looking, I think Joe Judge. I think he has not done at all what he's supposed to do in New York. And so he's on the hot seat. And then I would say Brian Flores in Miami. Because
why?
Because the rumors coming out of Miami is that he is not able to coach up his players, that he is not getting it done. And this is just the rumors I'm hearing. For some reason,
look
Facebook
what he did last year.
I'm just letting you know what I'm on Facebook, right? And then
that's your problem right there.
The good thing is Facebook loves throwing the Miami Dolphins fans at me. I don't know why. I have no idea. I don't ask for it.
Wait, the algorithm is wrong right now.
It's so bad. I'm a Washington fan. You're the reason
why it shut down yesterday.
But I've heard a lot of. It couldn't be the whistleblower the night before. Let's not talk about that before Facebook shuts us down and throws red tape all over the sports box. But no, I think there's been a lot of concerns with the way he's coaching down there, the way that he's not adjusting during games, and then just some concerns of his style overall. And that's why I'm saying that he's someone to keep an eye on down the road.
Alex, finish it up for us, brother.
Urban Meyer, Nagy, Joe Judge,
Kevin Stefanski.
Stefanski can get a 100-year contract the way he's. Yeah, no, there's no chance.
I love him.
I wanted to say Houston, but Houston's actually been competitive. I really thought he was going to be a gap coach, but they're pushing. Good. No, 100%. I mean, I think they got one right. Too bad they didn't do this 4 years ago. But maybe Deshaun Watson wouldn't have been
the GM.
Just don't make it the GM. Right. Yeah, I mean, the fourth one's tough, man. The fourth one's tough, man. I mean, I'm going to just stick with those 3. I don't really know. No, actually, you know what? No, I'm going to go 4 with up in Minnesota with
Zimmer.
Yeah, I mean, I thought
Zimmer.
He should have been gone a while ago, but, Minnesota's kind of like Pittsburgh where they don't want to get another coach. Like, they kind of just –
They don't.
They feel like family there. It's kind of like – I mean – in my opinion, Tomlin should be fired just for keeping Big Ben for one more year. I don't give a shit what the numbers said or whatever. The fact that they don't have a true backup there, or somebody in the wings waiting, it's a joke to me. I mean, you're proving that you can find quarterbacks in the 3rd and 4th round now. They could have gotten the guy they could have groomed for the last 3 years, and so yeah, I mean. Tomlin should be on the hot seat, but he's just out my top 4 right there. I think those are my 4, and I'm buying all of them. They all better be gone after this year, or I feel bad for your fan bases.
Agreed.
Last one. Buy or sell. Chicago Bears running back Damon Williams will produce while David Montgomery is out. Ryan, are you buying or selling?
I'm buying. San Diego Mira Mesa High School alumni right there, so I'm a big fan. He did good with Kansas City when he took over that regime, and he popped off when Montgomery went out. He's a good ball player. He's not like a Hunt or anything like that. He's not going to break off big plays, but he's steady for 4 to 5 and catch the ball in the backfield. I think he's going to do good.
He got a little dinged up last Sunday. I know that the waiver wire, he was number 1 on waiver wire this week at 92% availability in all leagues. A lot of people wanting to spin him, especially in our leagues that we are in. But with that being said, I'm going to buy. I'm going to buy just because I can see that the offense line is playing a little bit better. I like the schedule he has the next 4 to 5 weeks. And once Montgomery comes back in, that's his job, obviously. So it's a safe buy. No trepidation here on the buy for me. Brant?
I'm buying too. I mean, he was 8 for 55 in the last game. He took last year off, obviously, for COVID to be with his mom who had cancer. And I think he's going to be fresh. He's going to be fine. But definitely watch out for Khalil Herbert behind him because I think he definitely vultures some carries and get some catches down the road. Definitely a little shocked that they took Scherzer out already, though. It was
whoa.
They didn't even make it 5.
Anthony, thanks for joining the show. The answer, man, Zach Taylor, Mike McCarthy, Matt Rule, Joe Judge, Matt Nagy. I'm a little shocked with Zach Taylor and Matt Rule. I understand the other 3, but I mean, Carolina's 3-1. They're playing great. Zach Taylor's 3-1. I mean, that's a little. Maybe if they have a downfall, I could see it, but oh man, that's tough. Alex, finish it up.
Yeah, I'm buying. I like Damian Williams a lot. Ryan's right about you're only going to get 4 or 5, maybe like a 12-yard burst max. You're not getting 25 to 35-yard rips, but his receiving capabilities out of the backfield make him very, very appetizing, especially for fantasy. If we're talking fantasy, the PPR leagues. I mean, that's huge if you got a receiving back. So, yeah, I mean, I like him a lot. He reminds me of a very, very poor man's Kareem Hunt. Don't take that as like I think he's as good as, but you get what I'm saying. Like he has the same abilities. I didn't say that right. He has the same capability, not ability, if that makes sense, right? Yeah.
He reminds a lot of Ronnie Brown.
Right. He's versatile, but he's not going to kill you, right? Like Hunt has a different gear.
Yeah. To not interject, but to step on or to add on to what you're saying, the reason why he got the job in KC is because of his pass blocking capabilities. Yep. He's not Ezekiel Elliott good, but he's very, very good. Yep. And that's why he got the job over the other running back when he was in KC.
Yep.
Down my picks. These are our results after a month of predictions.
Look at Brant over here.
Brant because of one damn week.
656.
Cheers,
Alex
Brant.
has a 655. Brant has a 703, and Ryan has a 640. So Brant is first. I'm second. Alex is third.
You're such an idiot, dude. Such a moron, dude.
Oh man,
what a dick.
Actually, I would be second because I had a better week this week.
No one cares. So the first game is Thursday night. It's the Los Angeles Rams coming off a shocking loss. Is favored 2.5 against Seattle at Seattle. And how we do it? Winner goes first. Brant, go ahead.
I'm actually struggling with this one because I'm like, I want to pick the Rams, but I don't know. It's in Seattle. It's Pete Carroll and the Seahawks, but nah, I'm gonna go Rams on the road here.
This is tough.
But I'm not confident.
This is tough. For me personally, Seahawks came off a big win last week at San Francisco. Rams, big loss. Oh my God. I'm going to go with the Rams. I'm going the Rams. Woo! Alex.
Good Lord. LA, let's go. Move on.
Brian?
We already know where Ryan's going.
Best team in the NFL, baby, Rams.
There you go. Let's go. Move. Jeez, you guys labored that so hard.
It was tough. The Jets against the Atlanta Falcons. Jets come off their big first win last week against the Titans, who didn't have A.J. Brown and Julio Jones. Falcons are favored by 3.
In London at 9:30 in the morning.
Yes. I start this off. Oh my God. It's tough.
This is a tough one.
Stop. It's in London, Alex.
Start off with
Alex.
In London. Alex is confident.
They're teabagging and all that before the game.
They're teabagging.
I'm going to go Falcons. Go ahead, Alex.
Falcons, let's go.
Ryan.
Jets.
Ooh,
I'm going Jets.
With that pick, we now know why Ryan's in last place on picking percentage. Let's go. Go ahead, Brad.
I'm going Falcons. I think Cordarrelle Patterson eats in this game just like he did against
buddy.
Lincoln.
I love it.
Okay.
Best waiver wire pickup of the season.
Oh, by far. Humongous for me. Dude got 40 points last week.
Green Bay Packers are favored by 3 against the Cincinnati Bengals. Bengals coming off a climatic win last week, even though they were down by a lot against the Jags. He came back down by 14. It's in Cincinnati. Alex started off.
Now, this is a tough game for me. No, it's not. Packers.
Ryan.
Packers.
Brent.
Packers.
And it's the Packers. It's a sweep.
I'm shocked it's not more.
Packers.
I feel like it should be more than 3.
Oh, I'm betting heavy on that game. I'll tell you right now.
Listen, the Bengals are better than people are
units.
giving them. The Bengals are better than people are giving them credit. It's because they're the Bengals. That's why they're not getting the credit they deserve. They don't look bad. I mean,
no,
a lot of the old Bengals would have folded up shop against the Jaguars down by that much and just taken the L, but they came back and won. Burrow gives them a fighting chance.
Let's just say if the Packers are up by 14, they're going to win by 28 and not by less than 3.
I'm not arguing with you, but you could have a Packers show up that played New Orleans week 1.
Sure.
And it could be a blowout. We're all like, damn, we should have picked the Bengals. Right?
You know what I mean? Given Sunday, baby.
Yep.
Any given Sunday.
Yep.
Detroit Lions are going against the Minnesota Vikings in Minnesota. Minnesota just got a rough loss against Cleveland last week. Minnesota is favored by 9. Ryan, who we got?
Vikings, easy.
Brant?
Vikings.
Yeah,
I think it'll be less than 9, though. I think the Lions will cover it.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm going Vikings, but there's no way they cover the 9.
Okay.
4.5, maybe 6. I'll give them, but not 9. That's
maybe
insane.
if Dalvin Cook and Madison were healthy, but
I mean, I guess Vegas wasn't watching the game last week. I don't know. They scored 7 points. I'm just saying, with a lot of opportunities.
Broncos go against the Steelers. Steelers are favored by 1 in Pittsburgh. Broncos coming off a loss. Steelers is also coming off a loss. Who we got?
A couple weeks ago, I went with Pittsburgh, and they let me down against the who was it? The Cincinnati Bengals. I'm gonna roll with the Steelers again in this one. I think they pull it off.
This game's interesting. It's gonna be really, really, really hard for the Broncos to go and do anything at Pittsburgh. I'm going Steelers. Alex?
Broncos.
Come on, let's move on the show. Let's go.
Did you say Broncos?
He did say Broncos.
Wow.
I said Steelers.
I said Broncos.
No. Alex said Broncos.
Alex.
If you don't think Vegas thinks the Broncos are going to win, you're a little loopy. They gave them a 1-point favorite at home in Pittsburgh. The Broncos are taking the game. They win.
Okay.
I got Steelers. There's no, especially if Teddy doesn't play, if Drew Lock is the starter in Pittsburgh, no chance. I got Steelers all day.
There we go. Dolphins go against the Buccaneers.
That pick is why you were not in first place.
Buccaneers are 10 points.
For the first time in the history of this show.
The Buccaneers are favored by 10 points. Tampa Bay is coming off actually I should say Tampa Brady here is coming off a big emotional win. Didn't play good at all. It was heavy rain. Dolphins
just ask if anybody's picking the Dolphins and move
Buccaneers.
on.
Buccaneers.
Anybody picking the Dolphins?
No, they're
Okay,
playing the
move
second
on.
best
I'm
team
going
in
to
the
give
NFL.
the fans a little bit of an explanation.
Buccaneers.
By-
All right, good.
By 2 touchdowns.
Saints
Now this
are
is
favored by 2. Favored by 2 points. They go into Washington. Brandt's team, Washington football team. They're coming off a pretty big win against Atlanta. No pun intended. Alex, who you got?
I'm going Washington football team. I like what Heineke's doing there with the offense. Again, it's another team that we thought defense was going to carry them, and they really haven't. I think they've struck lightning with Heineke. I really think this kid deserves to start even when Fitzpatrick is healthy. He looks really good in that offense. If they could get that defense together, they could finish second in that division, no problem, and make the playoffs as a wild card. But they got to get that defense in order. They got to figure out what the hell's going on.
Ryan.
Washington football team.
Brent.
Washington. I think the Saints are honestly, they're a mess. You don't know what team you're going to get. Is it the team that destroyed the Packers in week 1? Is it the team that lost to the Giants last week? You just never know what you're going to get. And honestly, Taylor Heineke has really stepped up. I like the offense with McLaurin and Gibson. I think Ricky Seals-Jones is going to step up as tight end this week. And, if you're a defense that's struggling, having an erratic quarterback like Jameis Winston throw the ball to your cornerbacks is something that can remedy your issues.
And also the fact you got Curtis Samuel back in a second week. I mean, he's a big part of that offense.
Practice today.
Yeah, I know.
He's on pace.
He's on pace to come back.
Washington football team is a clean sweep.
Woo!
I'm shocked y'all didn't go with the Saints.
Why? I mean, what have they showed you besides? I think it was more about the Packers than it was about the Saints in week 1.
And I think it's more of Washington hasn't won cleanly yet.
Right.
Like they won
because their defense. That's what we talked about. The strength has not been good, but yet they're still hanging in games and winning games. So
because against the Giants, it was that not the first field goal that our kicker missed, but the second one that he made after the penalty, and then the last second 30-yard catch by McKissick.
Philadelphia Eagles go against Carolina Panthers. Carolina is favored by 3.5. Anyone picking the Eagles? Okay, we're all going Panthers. Alex has got to get to bed. Titans are favored by 4.5 against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Anybody picking the Jaguars?
Are AJ Brown and Julio Jones back?
I have no idea.
Julio did not practice at all today. AJ Brown practiced lightly, but I'd say that neither of them will probably play.
They looked so ugly. I'm still going to go Titans just because they're a better team, but God, that was ugly.
It was.
Anybody else?
Anybody going Jags? First win for Robert Saleh, though.
No one's going Jags? All right, we're all going Titans. There we go. New England Patriots are favored by 9.5 against the Houston Texans. Anyone going with the Texans? We're all going Patriots. All right.
Yeah, it's a hard one. I definitely think it'll be closer than what the score.
Here we go. Here we go.
You scared the shit out of me.
Cleveland Browns are going against the Los Angeles Chargers. It's at SoFi Stadium. The baby powder blue are favored by 1.5 points. Brant, you go first. Shut up, Alex. Brant, go first.
Oh man, so it's in LA.
That is
Baker Mayfield. No, it's always a road game for the Chargers. I get it. So Baker Mayfield did not play well last week against Minnesota. They still came out with the win. That offense with the Chargers is really good. I'm going the Browns. Let's go Cleveland.
Oh, okay.
Good. Have them. Hey, listen, I'm gonna go first since I'm a Charger fan. I think we all can say the Chargers defense is better than Minnesota, so I feel a bit better than that. I think we can say that Chargers offense is probably a lot better than the Minnesota. Yeah. Okay. All right. So, and I like the coaching better. Did you see my boy Brandon Staley this morning talking about the run game, how important it is? Oh, I love that guy. Chargers winning by 10. Boom. Mark it down. Chargers by 10. Ryan, Ryan, we'll save you for last. Go ahead, Alex.
I mean, we don't need to talk about it. I'm going to go with my hometown team. I mean, I'm not confident in that. I mean, like I said, the Chargers look really good. I'm not going to throw any shade against the LA Chargers. You know, when I lived in San Diego for the 7 years that I did, I rooted for the Chargers as my second team. I'm happy to see them finally get the monkey off the back, and they look decent. But I'm a Browns fan through and through. I think the run game travels always. When you rely on your pass game is when you have problems. And since Baker doesn't seem to be able to throw a 5-yard fucking pass anymore, I mean, I feel our run game's going to hold us. Our defense looks much better. I would say our defense is better than yours, not by much, but it's better. So I'm going to go with the Browns, but I think it's going to be a competitive game, maybe 17-13, 17-14, somewhere in that range.
17-14?
I think
All
defense
right.
is going to rule the day.
Ryan, go
I
ahead.
really
I'm
do.
thinking like 28-24.
Okay. I'm a tweener on both those. Obviously, I'm picking the Chargers. One of our big issues that's been for years has been our run defense, and they have some of the best running in the NFL. So it's going to be a tough game, and I don't think they're going to win by 10. I think it's going to be a close game. I think Staley is just proved that he is one of the better coaches in the NFL, and he's going to scheme us correctly. Chargers, 100%.
Bears go against the Raiders. Raiders are favored by 5.5. It's at Vegas. We're gonna start with Ryan.
This is a tough one for me, honestly. I'm going to go with the Raiders because I think that they are outkicking their coverage a little bit, and the Bears' offense just doesn't look great. Maybe Fields figures it out now, but I think Max Crosby's going to be all over his ass. So I'm picking Raiders.
Brant.
Hold on. Go. I'm not ready for this one yet. I'm not emotionally ready. Jesus, I couldn't even find it on my sheet. Like, what's the fucking spread on this thing?
5.5.
God.
It says it on your screen, bro.
It says it on your screen, bro.
See that makes you think that I'm not even looking at my screen right now. I'm off on other stuff. Over here watching the freaking Cardinals and Dodgers play.
Will you
Good.
make
Brett
a
Meeks,
pick?
everybody. He's here all week.
Just make a pick.
No, it's just hard because it's like I like the Bears defense better than I like the Raiders defense, but I like the Raiders offense a lot more because I don't trust Justin Fields yet. I think for that reason I'm gonna lean Raiders on this, but I could definitely see the Bears pulling it off.
I'm going Raiders. Alex.
Yeah, I mean, until Matt Nagy's not the coach anymore, I'm going to pick the other team against the Bears every time. Like,
Okay.
it has nothing to do with Fields. It has to do with the guy calling the plays.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton.
Raiders.
Giants go against the Cowboys. Anyone picking the Giants? Cowboys
God,
are
I
favored
hope
by
so.
7.
If you're a clown.
I
We're
hope
going
they
Cowboys.
win.
We all going
but
Cowboys?
Yeah.
All right. San Francisco 49ers go to Arizona. Cardinals are favored by 5.5. Anyone picking the Niners?
Nah, but they're gonna end up winning this game.
Not after what I saw last week. No.
Yeah, I'm going Cardinals. You know, Trey Lance is possibly going to start this game. I'm still going Arizona easily.
Oh, yeah. I want
They're-
a rookie.
see, now-
That's great.
This one worries me because I definitely think San Francisco will win the game.
Then
for some
pick,
reason,
pick San Francisco. Nut up. Stop talking
No.
about it. Be about it.
Nut up!
I don't trust Kyle Shanahan. The way he's treating Ayuk is fucking stupid. How are you going to have one of the best
Just
young
'cause you
wide
got
receivers?
Ayuk in like
Last week.
4 fantasy.
He
just 'cause you got
played.
Ayuk in 4
He
fantasy.
did, but he's
leagues,
not
I
getting
don't give a
plays
shit
from
about
the
that.
He
quarterback.
played more than
go.
50% of the snaps. What do you mean?
But he's been in the doghouse, and so
He's not in the
it's just
doghouse
been
anymore.
issue-
He's done.
Dude, you think the Shanahans forget? I watched
Yes.
Mike Shanahan. No. They're like
Are
winning.
Are you
They
picking
never
the 49ers?
forget.
Or you,
No,
picked-
I'm picking the Cardinals.
Okay,
All right, moving on.
all right, moving on.
It's upset special.
Buffalo Bills go. This is good. This is a good game.
Oof.
Go
This is
to
rough.
Kansas
This game of
City
the
and
week.
Arrowhead. Chiefs are favored by 2.5. Brant, you can start off.
Is it Sunday night game?
Yep.
Yeah. Good.
Sure,
In
why not?
Arrowhead.
Ooh, at Arrowhead? This is hard. I can't go against Patty Mahomes, prime time, Sunday night. I think it's like 31-27 for Chiefs.
Chiefs,
This
he
is gonna be a pretty tough game for Josh Allen and company to get on the Arrowhead. Arrowhead it's one of the loudest stadiums in the NFL, across the NFL. Tyreek Hill, we saw what he did last week against Philly. Looks like that connection is booming up. And with all that being said, I'm going Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen, that defense, they need to make a stand. They need to show the world that they're serious about this year. They are my Super Bowl pick, and I'm going to stick with them. Go Buffalo. Alex.
The Chiefs.
Okay. Ryan.
I'm not letting you be alone on this. This was going to be my upset of the week, in my opinion.
Upset of the week.
Upset of the week. I think the Bills show up, man. They've been playing exceptionally well. The Chiefs are off. You can see it when they play. They're not cohesive unit right now. And I just genuinely think that the Bills are playing better football. They're going to go in there and not smack their mouth. I think it's going to be a very close game. But I got Bills. Bills pull it out.
Listen, I was going Bills until Drew started talking, and then I knew I had to be wrong, so I'm going Chiefs.
Worst guy.
As you
That's
see down there, the winning percentage.
I just
Drew,
don't- I don't-
656.
I just don't
Alex,
understand how
655.
you go against Patrick Mahomes at
Just
home.
wanna throw that out
prime
there
time.
again.
Yeah, because you fat fingered it. There's no way I could be 655.
So,
With
Hey,
the
it's not
same
my fault.
exact
Hey,
numbers.
first of all,
42.
I didn't do the banners.
You're
The
such
guy
an
above
idiot.
you with glasses on did. Not me,
you
guy.
changed it. I didn't do that.
I
You
knew
changed
it.
it. I don't
didn't
believe
change
it.
it.
I knew it.
I
don't
just got
believe it.
home, guy.
You're such
Yeah,
a
man,
liar,
changed
dude,
it.
because he put it in the chat, and they were.
I heard a bunch of
Listen,
I heard a bunch
Harry
of clicking
Potter, you
noises
did
over
it.
there.
You did it right. You did it all you.
He
Colts
changed
against
it.
the Ravens. I didn't change it. You did.
Yes,
That's why you had
exactly.
2022 instead of 2021.
42 and 22 is the same
Colts
record.
against the
dummy.
Ravens. Ravens, it's at home at Baltimore. Alex started off.
I'm going to Ravens. This could be a
That's
game.
cute.
that
Ryan
the
next.
Colts figure out how to win somehow.
I got Ravens as well.
Brent.
The Colts suck. It's going to be the Ravens. The one saving grace of my Jacksonville bullshit from earlier this year is the Colts are legitimately just as bad. So that is
We all
it
picked
is-
Tennessee.
Well, I picked Tennessee too. I just said that in that division, Jacksonville could finish second. It's still a possibility,
Yeah, because it's only
All
week
right,
4.
Vaginas. I'm picking Baltimore.
and
so
they
there
all
we go.
suck.
The picks are in.
There it is. Picks are in.
Woo,
Final
woo.
thoughts. Anybody got any final thoughts before we move on so you can watch this playoff game?
Go
The AFC
Cardinals.
South is the worst division in football right now.
The what?
The
AFC
AFC
South.
South is the
AFC
worst
South.
division in football
Yeah, I would agree.
by far. I mean, you got the
Yep.
Texans, the freaking Colts. It's just and the Jags. I mean, if you have to play that division, you're stoked out of your mind.
Here we go, Brownies. Here we go.
Oh, man.
can't
I
wait for next
Can't wait.
Wednesday, baby.
Yeah.
You're gonna be upset if they lose, boy, because oh my lord. Good night.
You want to bet?
Ooh.
night.
You want to bet?
Yeah, that's fine. We can make a bet, but
You
my
want to
bet
bet?
involves you getting a tattoo of the Browns on your body.
Oh, come on, man.
Hey,
We're
man.
weak.
How about we?
Weak.
See, I'd make him go out
Ain't
and
no
buy
one
a
gonna do
shirt
that,
and a
guy.
hat, matching set for next week. Loser has to buy a matching set of T-shirt and hat for the next.
was
Where
just-
am I gonna get? I would have to like order that offline because nobody sells
I
LA
was-
Chargers
I was-
stuff. Not even in LA.
I was gonna say I'm gonna have you grow out your hair for a year, but hey, neither here nor there.
Why? It would look the same. It just would. I'd look like Fire Marshal Bill, clown. Like what? Clown would just be on the sides. This would still be fine.
Exactly.
Oh, poor guy.
You will look like a true pedophile for Halloween next year. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
And
Oh, man.
congratulations, Ryan, on Jace Tingler being fired tonight.
Thank goodness, man. That guy's been
Dude.
killing us
He's
all
still
year.
he's still gonna be in the organization.
I'm okay with
Did you
that.
read
'Cause
that?
He's still,
Wait,
he's
they're
still a
keeping
good. What? No, he's fired. He got fired this
No,
week.
Fire.
but I mean they're keeping him in the organization.
Yeah, he's just going to be like an assistant to the GM or pro scout, lookout, whatever. He's a good baseball mind. He got the job for a reason, but he's
Yeah,
not
he's
a
just
leader.
not
He's
a
a
he's just not a
terrible
head
mind.
coach. I mean,
His
you
handling
got to
of
spend all
the
that money
pitching
and all that
rotation.
talent. You're just not a head coach. Not a manager.
He's not a
you
leader.
know.
So
Yeah.
He is not
what
a
I've
game
been
manager
hearing-
either.
So one of my buddies, I don't know if I told you guys now, one of my buddies I work with has ties to the MLB, and he was telling me that Bruce Bochy's been in the organization for the last couple of weeks. So if Bruce Bochy takes that, or Juan Washington. Those are two names I've been hearing the most so far down here.
Well, I'll
It'll be
tell you this.
interesting to see.
Knowing some inside information, Bruce Bochy has not been contacted yet by the Padres.
No,
Not yet, at least. So we'll see.
we'll see.
Shout out to Jim Schurer on that one.
Hey, Alex, is that a skull from the last time the Browns were relevant in the NFL?
Oh,
Like 80
my
years
God.
ago?
Ouch.
Guys,
We'll
thank
end
you
it on
guys
that
too
note.
much for tuning in. I
Outro.
appreciate
I mean,
it.
Outro.
they've been
I
they've
appreciate
been
it so much,
relevant
and we'll
sooner
talk to you. We'll talk
more
to you guys
recent
next
than
week.
the SARS.
Thank you for watching this episode of Game Winning Drive on the Sports Box. Please remember to follow us on all of our social media outlets. On Facebook at Sportsbox Show, Twitter at Sportsbox Show, Instagram at The Sportsbox Show. Find us on YouTube and join Outside the Box, our Facebook sports discussion group. The Sports Box is brought to you by our sponsor, Showcase Sports in Hamilton. Showcase Sports for the elite athlete. And also our friends over at CrowdPlay. Download the free CrowdPlay app today and use promo code THEBOX at sign up for 10 free points. Thank you for joining us.
Could never. I love this pizza.